Welcome back, you beautiful people. It's Tito, back for another episode of Here's a Camelot. Today I want to talk about something. This is a special request from some people in my guild, talking about Grail Knights. So what is Grail Knights? So if you come up here in the top left of your screen, you'll see your mana bar, your stamina bar, and then another one with a number, Roman numeral on the left, and then a percentage sign. So we're going to click on that, just select that, and then this screen pops up. So you have the Join tab, Info, Gift, and Summon. Basically what this does is, this is your options for joining it. So there are individual tokens, Grail Knight tokens, that you can get that grant you 24 hours of Grail Knight status. Now, what is Grail Knight status? Well, Grail Knight status is a 9-step or 9 ranking process, each rank with its different privileges. As you see here, GK1 will unlock 4 special functions as follows: receive 1 more special daily quest. I'll show you where that is. Receive 1 more chance to refresh daily quests per day. Receive weekly 1 free gift, GK gift. Improves 40% stamina and mana recovery speed. I think the basic mana and stamina recovery time is 3 minutes for 1 stamina and 1 mana. So this is just saying that it will refresh 40% faster. What it's talking about in the gifts section. So if you come here to the gifts section, this is where you get your weekly gifts. Every 7 days, you will get a gift based off your GK level. So if you are GK level 1, you will get this GK 1 here. If you are GK level 2, you'll get GK level 1 and 2. All the way up, as you can see, I am GK 9, so I get all of these gifts once a week. I think it's like something like around 40 summon stones and maybe a similar number of pots, and then these tokens, which I'll explain also in a minute. But anyway, so as you can see, that's the GK level 1. I'll tell you just for a comparison, GK 9 will unlock 9 special functions as follows, including the functions of GK 8. So as you increase your GK level, you retain the ones you got on previous ones. So once you get to GK level 9, you're keeping everything you got from GK 1 through 8. So GK 9 will allow you to receive, like I showed you, all 9 of these daily weekly gifts. It will also allow you 10 time free summon retries per week. I'll explain that in a second. Unlock summon pre-select function gives you a 250% chance when you summon the selected card. Also, we'll explain that when I talk about the summon tab. Improve 300% stamina and mana recovery speed. So by the time you get to this point, your mana and stamina on normal mode only, I should note, are recovering 1 every 12 seconds. So I think it's 12 or 15 seconds. So yeah, it's 12 seconds, which is pretty fast. Increase 150% extra XP when exploring cities. So anytime you're out wandering around in the fields of Avalon, you are collecting 150% more XP than you would on any given zone and quest. Raise 25% stamina and mana max limit. This is perhaps one of the most important aspects of Grail Knights, is that it gives you the ability to increase your base stats of your character, how much stamina and how much mana you have by a percentage by a percentage each level of Grail Knights. So once you get to the max, you're adding 25% of your base stats. Now I can't show you without wasting a point stat reset, which I'm not going to do. But if you go up here in the top right, you'll go to points. So basically, this 115, my stamina and vigor being at 115, my mana and spirit being at 288, basically 25% of that is because I have Grail Knights. So I could do some quick math. As you might know, am not good with math. So 25% of that, I would think it's maybe 30 to 35 stats as far as like mana goes, the mana and spirit. And that's what you really want to care about, because I'll tell you why that's important right here. It's because you go here to your party, right? And the top right, you'll see I'm at 280 out of 288, which means if you have more characters, every character, as you can see in the middle left right here, has that little mana pot and it says 27. that's how much Blazing Percival costs. So the better your cards get, the more cards you want in your party, the more it's going to cost to run your party. So I have, and there are bonuses that you get for having this. These are mainly found at the bottom of your party. These increases having a star bonus increases your max HP and attack by 6%. This increases your max attack and HP by 10%, and that's for having all my cards at level 70, at least level 70, whatnot. But there are ones for this, like right here, the evolution bonus. So if every card in your party is tier 2, meaning it's been evolved at least once, then that will reduce the mana cost. But that's hard to find, especially when you're getting a lot of the top 7-star cards. So this is why Grail Knights is so important, is because it allows you to have more mana than you actually are putting stats into, which means you are able to have a more powerful party a lot earlier on in the game. So coming back here, that's largely why it's important. Forget about the stamina, forget about everything else, the gifts. Everything pales in comparison to having 25% extra mana and or spirit, which is what mana is in Nightmare mode. So that's the real most important thing about this. So all right, so we've talked about it. We've talked about gifts. Every 30 days you get a random 7-star card. I got Zadkiel the free, and I'm getting Camiel the light. It's whatever. It's free 7 stars, so I can't complain. So right here, we talked about some stuff in info and or these tokens that you see. These are Grail Knight tokens, these little circular things with the cup in it, and you use them over here. So every time you have a token, you can do what's a summon. You can flip through these cards and you can summon. I don't think I've found a correlation between the symbols on the card and whether or not you get that. I haven't figured anything out like that, but there are a number of rewards that you can get from this, and it's basically just a roulette wheel of rewards. But you basically, the most important thing about these summons are that you can get these shields. You have a chance to get a shield each time you run it. And the more shields you have, some are more rare. It just depends who you are. For me, it's harder to find the Arturo and Lancelot shields as opposed to some other people. Boar in the bottom right, that's a hard one for some people. But every time you get 6 of these shields together, you can summon a 7-star card. And this rotates out every 2 weeks. So every 2 weeks, you have a different chance. So I'm just waiting for a different card because Morgan Le Fay, you can farm her. She's a wandering boss on normal mode, so I'm not going to bother wasting my spending shields on exchanging that. What they're talking about in info, where you're saying that you can you can pre-select for increasing chance. So basically, if you just come here, you press on this tap underneath the cards here, tap square, you can select a card because every time you do a GK token summon, you get a free card, and these are just a list of the cards that you can get. They're not great, they're not bad either. Again, free cards. But then you can also just select which one you want to have a 2.5%, or 2.5 times extra drop rate. So that's basically what I was talking about earlier. And also, whenever you do one of these summons, if you don't get the card you want, there's an option on the bottom left of the roulette wheel that allows you to reset it. And I think once you get to GK9, you have 10 resets, every day. So you're resetting for cards that you don't really need or want. It's whatever. But really, that's it. In terms of spending gems in this game, last couple points I'll wrap up. This game is very heavily dependent on spending money. However, there are ways you can get around spending money and being pretty decent. I don't spend much money at all. I'm in the U.S. I spend at max $50 a month on this game, and that's not very much at all. But GK is one of those things that it's so important that it will really make a significant difference in how well you do in the game, right? So one thing I would recommend is coming up here in the gyms, the buying gem section. One thing I would say, even if you aren't going to spend any money at all, but you want to have a decent chance at being good at this game, get the Royal Spoils. You get 200 gems for buying it, and then you get 70 gems for 30 days for a total of 2,300 gems, 2,300. Now, if you look here, if you get that after a week or two, you'll have the 630 gems needed to buy 6 months of GK. Not to mention every week you're getting some GK tokens that you can put it back into it. So eventually you're getting free months, of it. So I would definitely say that is perhaps one of the most economical things you could do if, even if you're not wanting to be super serious about this game, if you're wanting to be good at it, that's something I would recommend doing, whether it's 3 months or 6 months. 350 gems, 630 gems, really inexpensive. So definitely consider doing it. I will never tell anyone to spend money on a game, much less Heroes of Camelot. But if you have to spend any money on this game, this is one of two things, only two things in this game that I would say you absolutely, definitely should spend money on, which is getting your GK and Chest of Chests. And I'll talk about those when those come out here later this week. Explain what that is. But that's basically the purpose and function of Grail Knights. It's a new function. It didn't used to be in the game, but coming back as I did this year, that's something that I've had to learn how to work into. But I really like the fact that it's increasing your base stamina and mana. So really is an important aspect of the game if you're wanting to get into it. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up today. Oh, one last thing I will say. You see here it says the percentage progression bar for my Grail Knights is at 13.87%. This is a war of attrition. One way you can increase your Grail Knights status, that's something I didn't address in here, is how do you get from level 1 to 9? Basically, from spending gems. You get an increase in that from largely from spending gems. The more gems you spend, the higher and quicker you will progress through the GK ranks. Another thing that will also help you gain GK is from doing your daily quests and other just random rewards. You get these things called Handful of Offerings. This gives you 200 GK devotions. You can get them from rewards from doing the Grail Knights token spins, daily quests, and other ways. There's plenty of ways you can get them. And then you also have the Arthurian Pie, gives you 20 GK devotions. That is the freemium or free to play method of increasing your GK percentage. Now, as I said, it's a war of attrition. So every day your GK percentage will go down. The higher GK level you are, meaning if I am GK level 9, my GK progression decreases like 6% every single day. As opposed to if you're GK level 1, I don't even think it decreases when you're that low. But as you progress through the ranks, that will increase in how much it decreases each day. I know that seems really counterintuitive. I remember logging in one day and I was like, what the heck? Did my GK, did something happen? And then someone told me it goes down every single day. It doesn't matter how much you play. It doesn't matter about how many hours you spend logged in or whatnot. It just a normal thing that happens every single day. So to keep that in mind. But yeah, so it's not hard to do. Very easy, very manageable. You get these from, as I said, daily quests. Click over here. You can get these. You evolve a 5-star card. You get 200. You get the basket for 200 GK. Every 3 daily quests you complete, you get a basket. So it's something you can really hold off indefinitely if you want. Anyhow, well, I hope you learned a lot today. I know that was certainly something when I first started that I didn't really know a lot about, but the more I came to know, the more I really took advantage of those wonderful options that Grail Knights offers players. All that being said, I really enjoy making these. If you're learning stuff, give me support. Find me online. My user ID is teedorocks, O instead of a 0. I'd love to hear from you. So I hope you see you next time and keep watching.